Tradition is the greatest enemy of change. I read the story about Samson. He was in the desert. He met 1,000 Philistines. They came to kill him. Samson is standing there in the heat of the sun. The sand is hot, and he sees 1,000 men coming to kill him. They come with spears and daggers and swords and shields and horses. And Samson looks around. He's in trouble, and he sees a white bleached jawbone of a donkey. He reaches over, picks it up, shakes the sand out of it, and it has 2 teeth left in it. And Samson braces himself, and the 1,000 Philistines come. He begins to swing that jawbone. Men fall, horses spill over. He kept swinging, and after a few hours of swinging, 1,000 men lie dead on the sands of the desert. And Samson is standing there breathing, blood all over his body, splattered all over his hands, and he has in his hands a jawbone bleached white, soaked with red blood. And Samson just saw a miracle. He killed 1,000 men with a jawbone of a donkey. That was impressive to me. But what blew my mind was, it says, one simple statement, it says, and when Samson had killed the Philistines, Samson threw away the jawbone. That changed my life. You see, we use things in life that worked. They were successful. If that was me and you, and we used that donkey's jawbone, we would have taken that, patented, we would have taken it, registered to the Library of Congress, we'd have gone to a manufacturer, make a prototype, we'd have actually made a lot of these jawbones and called them Samsonite. We'd have made them a war weapon, and we would trade them to other armies and say, look, it works. I proved it. These can kill 1,000 Philistines. And we would actually sell them as war weapons. Follow me carefully. We would then trade this jawbone, trade it as a weapon to the future armies. We would trade this jawbone. Why? It worked for us. Look at the word trade. Tradition. Tradition is taking a thing that worked for you and giving it to the next generation. Samson knew that even though that jawbone worked for him, the anointing left it, and he threw it away. Can you throw away success? Yes, because you could become so preoccupied by your own success, it can stop you from going to your next success. Tradition is frozen success. Tradition is when what your experience of God was, you believe it should be your children's experience also. Traditions are not bad, but they can become useless if the anointing has left them. So you got to learn to be willing to change. The crisis comes to destroy traditions. That's why crises are good. Everything that made the American economy work for the past 50 years has been confused. The church is the same way. Many churches are dying right now. Large churches are slowly dying because the things that they used for the last 20 years are no longer appropriate. And God is saying, look, the anointing has left the jawbone. You know, the hardest thing in the world to do is to throw away something that worked. So change comes to make tradition obsolete. This is why much of what you're doing stops working. It's not that it wasn't good or it wasn't successful, but the anointing has left it. And Samson was smart enough to know that the anointing left the jawbone, and he never tried to sell it to another generation.